So back around to Joiso. Both of them playing, well, for a final table, very deep. Right around the sort of 70, 80 big blind mark, the effective stacks here. And Joiso will flat call. We'll see a flop. And it brings the diamond draw for him. Obviously no help for Riz 13, although he's perfectly entitled to represent an ace. Continuation bet still allowed. Just to clarify, still allowed. Although way out of fashion. 225 and change is the bet from Riz 13. Well, we know Joiso won't be going anywhere. If he continues to flop as well as he has so far at this final table, I think the others are going to be in trouble. You don't want arguably the best player also flopping the best. That makes for a short event. Well, there you go. Flush on the turn gives Joiso not quite the nuts, but basically the nuts. Riz 13 will double barrel. You can understand that. Trying to get Joiso off his one pair hands. Joiso will immediately shove. Interesting how fast he made that shove, almost to make it look more bluffy, or, you know, like he has a semi-bluff or a pair and a draw or something like that. We can see, of course, that Riz 13, unless he makes one of the most expensive misclicks of all time, which, though quite funny, would be a little bit tragic, is going to fold, and he does. Joiso threatening to run over this final table. He's up over 3.5 million now. We'll skip on to hand 32. And looking around the table, Horozic. Horozic? You can pronounce it how you like at home. I'll go with Horozic. He's your short stack. Just around about 12 big blinds or something like that. Actually, that's terrible maths, isn't it? 15 big blinds. So it won't be too long before he makes a move. And making a move right now, HWTD1, a runner-up in a Sunday warm-up, and lots of cashes in the 5-figure mark. So a good tournament player, well, an excellent tournament player. Opens on the button. 7BE//EC7. Going to be honest, I'm going to go with 7B. Hope he doesn't mind. Hope the backslashes aren't of massive personal importance to him. Perhaps the second one reminds him of his elderly mother, I don't know. Ace-King offsuit anyway, and he does make the 3-bet. And a shove from HWTD1. Well, he's been 3-bet by an aggressive player. And he thinks his King-Queen is plenty good enough to get it in with. Unfortunately for him, as you can see, he's very dominated here. Overcoated, as they used to say in the old school. Needs a queen, needs lots of hearts or some sort of funky straight. Can't see any of those things on that flop. And this looks bad for HWTD1. Oh, it's very bad now. So bad that he's going to be watching the rest of the tournament from the rail. 8th place is going to have to be good enough for the American player. Good run through this tournament, but it ends with a $30,600 cash and leaves us 7-handed. Hand 49, the blinds have gone up. 17.5, 35,000, inched up. I hope you've all got the chance to play at least one of these WCOOPs already. If you have, you'll know just how slowly the structures go. You want to cancel all appointments before you enter one, but they are worth it. It's just a lot of fun to play such a good structured event, and also to play a tournament where you get to play with the same players at the table for a decent amount of time. Concert 888 will shove here. Just under $1 million, so quite a lot of chips, but I think with Joiso opening in the cutoff, it's actually probably pretty standard to shove here. He's going to make me very wide. And it's a bit of a birthday present for Riz 13 with 10s in the big blind to have that late position action in front of him. The cards will go on their back, and Riz 13 gets the great news that he's got his money in super good here. Concert 888 will be crippled by this pot unless he can somehow catch a 2 or running straight cards now. Well, only the river can change things. And 7 doesn't change things. So Riz 13 with a significant pot in his final table, up to almost 1.9, and cripples Concert 888, although he would double up, and he's still in there pitching. Very short stack now as he takes the big blind. He's got just over 6 big blinds. And we're going to watch a cooler. The ultimate setup, kings versus aces. Riz 13 with the kings. I always think the worst thing about this is when the money goes in, usually, you think you want the money to go in. And then you get the news that it was the last thing you wanted. Well, 7B is just flat called here. So trapping with the aces. And joiso's thinking, now, obviously it's a potential squeeze spot for him. And that's what he does. And you can understand why he's made this move. 3-betting with the ace-10. But we could see an explosion of chips into the middle of the felt here. Riz 13 thinking about how to play this. But yeah, he does shove the money in. And this is all of 7B's birthday and Christmas presents in one moment. He's got so much money in front of him. He'll flat call again, just in case joiso wants to put some more money in the pot. I think that's going to be it for Kostritsin. Yeah, he gets out the way, and Riz 13 gets the news that he's been super cooled here. Unless he can catch a king, he's going to be out in the cruelest of fashions. Well, that's even worse, isn't it? Maybe it's better. Put him out of his misery. Well, a 6 on the river, and we'd all play quads with an ace kicker. That would be one of the sickest split pots. But no, it doesn't happen. 7BE with the big cooler. Aces over kings knocks out the super unlucky Riz 13. He'll have to settle for 7th.